Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Today is day 22, and we are reading from the book I Did a New Thing by Tabitha Brown. I Did a New Thing by Tabitha Brown. 30 Days of Living Free. We have spent this entire month doing reading through this book together, and today is day 22. Try a new exercise or workout, but take your time. I don't know, there's a part of me that feels like the same way I felt about trying a new food is the way I'm gonna feel about this. But I don't know, that's just me. Good morning, Miss Rochelle. Good morning, Miss Samantha. Good morning, Miss Vita. Good morning. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope y'all had a good weekend. My body needed rest this weekend. I don't know about y'all, but my body needed rest this weekend, and I allowed it to rest. And every time after I allow my body to rest, am I the only one that feels this way? Then I feel so guilty. Like I think about all the things that I could have done, and I feel guilty that I didn't get it done. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird like that, but I've told you guys I've always been a workaholic. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid of putting in the work. But I do understand, especially as you mature in age, that you have to listen to your body, and that if your body is telling you to pump the brakes, you got to pump the brakes. And so I did it. But even though, I felt guilty about it, I still did it. But I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? Good morning, Miss Shelley. Good morning, Mama. Hey, Dr. Stevie. Miss Rochelle, you feel the same way? Shelley, you feel the same way? She said, but I forced myself to be still and rest yesterday. That was a new thing for me. And I think that was a new thing for me as well. Like when I tell you that I was in the bed, like I felt, I don't know, my body just felt, I can't even explain it. At one point, I felt really like shaky, like jittery. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I need to lay down. And so I spent most of the day in bed on Saturday after I did Shine with Andrea. And thank you to those of you who remember to come on and hang out with me. And thank you to those of you who watched the replay as well. But yeah, I needed to listen to my body, and I did. And so while I was doing that, right, while I was laying in bed, I did check out the show, The Upshaws. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it before. I kind of like looked at it a couple of times, and I never like really watched it, but this weekend I watched a lot more of it, and it was because I saw Tab put up something that's saying she was going to be a part of it. And I was like, you know what? Let me go give this show another shot. And it's not that when I first looked at it, I didn't like it. I'm not really a huge TV person. I've never been a huge TV person. I've never been one to sit in front of the TV and just watch TV, right? So I said, I'm going to let me check it out. And so it's a funny show. And I haven't seen her yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing the episode that she's in. I've never seen her act. So I one thing I said I wanted to do is like maybe go and try to Google and find out what I know. I think she was in the Chai. I think that's how you say it, right? I think she was in Chai. The Chai.
Chai?
I don't know. It's Chicago. It's not is it the Chi? The Sha, is it the Sha? Chi Town? That's what I was thinking. The Chai, right? I don't know if I'm saying it right or not. Chi Town? I don't know. She's in the CHI. Shy. Chai, like shy. Thank you. She's in the CHI, like SHY. I think that was like, I think it was a long time ago. I don't think it's something that's recent. Like I'm drinking chai tea. I'm drinking chai tea. Oh, I'm not. I thought I was. I'm drinking milk. Warm milk. Anyway, so hey Patrice, hey, Shanae. Hello, Miss Carolyn. Patrice says, when you won't rest, he will make you lay down. That's true. It's very true. Dr. Stevie said, I didn't leave my bed yesterday except to eat and other very essential things. I hear you. Miss Rochelle said, I took a nap for the first time in years on a Sunday. Wow. Yep. Shelly was like, me too. Under the covers. Stevie says, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Hey, I'm right here with you. Right here with you. You're a recovering alcoholic? Not alcoholic. Did I say that?
That's what you said. Oh. Like, what? Here goes that soundbite.
Oh my God. That would be funny because I don't drink alcohol. Like, I don't drink. Oh my gosh, not alcoholic, recovering workaholic. Lord have mercy. I guess I just need to go back to bed and start all over again. Like, seriously. Dr. Stevie says she was in a movie that was a while ago and she had a weave in for that. I will see if I can find the name. Okay. Dr. Stevie said, please don't start that rumor. Okay. Tara's like, wait, what did I walk into?
What do you have on your side of the bed?
Oh my gosh! Hey, Nene, what did you put in this cup?
No.
Oh my gosh! I was talking about how I mentioned that I was a workaholic, and then I was reading Dr. Stevie's comment, and and I read it wrong. Of course I'm going to blame it on Gordon. Of course I'm going to blame it on Gordon. Sound like one of those reels, right? I'm a wife. Of course I'm going to blame it on my husband. Dr. Stevie said, I did give up hard alcohol this month though. Oh, okay, Dr. Stevie, I don't know how to take that. Let me just clear the air, okay? I do not drink alcohol and I am not an alcoholic. Oh my gosh. I have had a glass of wine and
giggled the whole night.
Like I don't see what it is that people enjoy about alcohol. I just don't. That's just me personally. I don't need it. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. The only thing I did like, I think it was a Moscato. I think I tasted a Moscato once and I was like, this is nice. I liked felt like very refreshing. I was like, wine. It was not, yeah, sweet wine. But I don't drink. I really don't. I just don't. So for me to verbalize that, I rebuke that in Jesus' name. Oh my gosh. Hey, Miss Vanessa. Hey, Jay. Miss Vita says, that's what I've been doing. When I felt bad, I went and actually got back in the bed and took a nap. I think that has aided in my recovery. And you're absolutely right, Miss Vita. You're absolutely right. Dr. Stevie said, I love a good cocktail, but the overindulgence can be real. Yeah, I don't even like it. So if somebody were to ever say, oh my gosh, did you hear Andrea? Did you hear this sound bite of Andrea saying she's an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic? Like I would just laugh because I don't even like alcohol. I don't even like it. Tara says, Facebook land and PSA, Andrea is a workaholic, not an alcoholic. Yes, thank you. Did you say you were or I was? I think I said we both were, Dr. Stevie. I think I said, let me go back to your comment. I think I agreed with you and said, oh, you said, okay, this is it. You said I'm a recovering workaholic. And I say, yeah, me too, Dr. Stevie. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Oh my gosh. That's what I said. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Dr. Stevie, you just going down with me, girl. You just going down. Oh, Miss Rochelle said sweet wine, special occasions only for me. I don't even like if there's a special occasion, like I don't even like want to have alcohol for a special occasion. I don't have that I don't have that crave or that or that need or that, we got to do. I really don't. So that's why it's just so funny for me. But I don't knock anybody that does. I really don't. I don't knock anybody that does. I mean, I don't think anything is wrong with it. As long as you do it in moderation, I think that is when, that's when it's like, well, what are you doing? If you're not doing it in moderation, I think anything done in moderation.
You mean over. In moderation is okay.
In moderation is okay. Right. Anything done in moderation, I think is okay.
Jesus turned water into wine.
Yeah, Jesus turned water into wine, right? Wait, what was that? I saw this somewhere. Okay, let me see. I'm really terrible at telling jokes, y'all. Really, really bad at telling jokes. Hold on.
He was in the bar with
his Jesus walked into a bar with his Jesus walked into a bar and he said, I'll just take 12 waters, please. And then he looked over at the disciples and was like, I got you. I got this. Do y'all get it? I hope y'all got it. He's like, I got this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Gordon, you put something in this milk?
No, I did.
Yes, you did.
Maybe Jesus did something that we didn't know.
Oh,
so, the power of Jesus is up in here. He probably just winked at you.
He turns milk into wine now. Oh my gosh. Oh, good morning, Jan. I'm glad you just got here, Jan. Don't bother with watching the replay, okay?
It's the happy place.
Oh my gosh. Dr. Stevie said, I got it. Tara said, I want what's in that cup. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need to ask y'all a real serious question. Who has actually been reading the book? Be honest. God is watching. Be honest. Who has actually been reading the book? I'll wait. Tara said, okay, we are serious. Dr. Stevie says she's been listening to it. That's right, because you have the audio version. Shelly said me. Miss Rochelle said I have been. Shanae said me. Tara says, I told Kev just last night how disappointed I was in that. She said, Tara says I haven't. Well, Tara, you've had a lot going on. And one of the things that Gordon has to always remind me of is you have a lot going on, right? Like a lot right now. You got a lot of stuff that you're dealing with that is taking up your mind space, your heart space, your emotions. You're having to fight a lot of things, right? God has put you in a position to be his soldier right now. So sometimes you can't be so hard on yourself. You can't be so hard on yourself. Okay. Nini's like, Patrice says, I listened to you for your summary. Okay. Vita says, that's so funny. I just read the chapter today since I've been sick. Oh my goodness. All right. So today is day 22. And the quote is from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You don't have to see the whole staircase just to take the first step. Now, if you weren't here yesterday, I really think you should listen to yesterday, because yesterday it ministered to me. Like as I was speaking and the things that I was saying, I feel that it was God that downloaded those things, and it was something I needed to hear right then and there. All right. And so I really think if it was only like 25 minutes, it was not long at all. If you did not listen to yesterday's, I don't even remember what Saturday's was. What was Saturday? Saturday was do something that supports someone else. Yesterday was do something that pushes you beyond your limits. Definitely, please promise me that you will watch yesterday's if you haven't already. Again, it was only like 25 minutes. It was not long, but it was impactful. It was impactful. So please do that. And please share it. Please share it, okay? Good morning, Dr. Monique. Good morning. Tara says, I'm really pressing in to stay connected, y'all. I just haven't been reading. No, we understand, Tara. We understand. We understand. I know exactly what you are going through. It's not like you haven't, pulled me in the loop. So I get it. I get it. But I'm glad that you are still showing up, with everything that you have going on, with everything. And you've got a boulder on your shoulders right now. With everything you have going on, you still find it in you to be here every day. Unless you physically cannot be here because you're at an appointment or you're dealing with something, but you have still maintained showing up. So you got to be proud of yourself, and you have to celebrate the small wins. Right? You got to celebrate the small wins. So yeah. You show up. Okay. So today's day 22. And it says you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take this first step. And I think that we all have to, we all get to a point in life where we really have to just take the step. Somebody reached out to me recently, or was it on a post? Someone commented, can't remember what it was or who it was, but it's like they need to know how to get out of their own way in order to do something. And they need to learn that. And I thought that was interesting because, quite frankly, we all walk that road, right? We all walk that road where there's something that there's like a big boulder in our way. And it's like, how do we get around it? Do we go around it? Do we climb over it? Do we try to go dig a hole and go under it? What do we do? And I think that a lot of times we'll sit there and just stare at the boulder. We'll just sit there and we'll just stare at the boulder. And a lot of times we will plan. We try to come up with a course of action. And then we'll say, let me pray about this. And we pray about it. And we still don't take action. And we just keep staring at the boulder. And we do nothing. And I think unless we actually just take that step of faith, not knowing what's going to happen, and at least try to push it out the way, try to see, let's see, can we walk around it to the left? Well, maybe not. Okay, can we walk around it to the right? Okay, let me see. Should I start digging? Should I try to go over it? Maybe I should call a friend and say, can you fly me over it? Right? Like I think we need to start. We need to take the first step, because we can't keep complaining about where we are if we don't at least try. At least try, right? And so Shanae, hey, Nini said that, yes, that's my feeling. This has changed my life. Oh, tell me more. Tell me more, Nini. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tara says, I have to. I need y'all, and I need this. And I'm glad you know where to plug in, Tara. I'm glad you know where to plug in. I'm glad you know where to come, where God has sent you to, and that you are consistent with it. I appreciate that, but I'm proud of you for doing that as well. Shanae said, this is one of the things that I love about social media, is that I can listen and then go back and rewatch at my own leisure. Yes. And sometimes I find in your conversations, I might have missed a point or two in my reading. So I'm grateful for the YouTube and the replay shows. Oh, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. Because sometimes I wonder, like, is anybody seeing what's going on YouTube? Like, does anybody see it? Because you can look at it and you don't see many views, right? I don't have a lot of views over there. And I said, I wonder if anybody's watching it. So I'm glad that you said that to me. And I know that I'm building something. So I know that it's good that I have that there. If anybody is looking, they can see I've been consistent. It's there. They can see what we've done. They can listen to it. But I appreciate you saying that. Vita says, I really appreciate your summation of the book each day because I could listen in the midst of my sickness. Wow. Thank you, Miss Vita, for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tara said, I was given a prophetic word years ago, and God told me that my life was a tall staircase, and it intimidated me at first, but I kept taking a step. Sometimes I get tired and sit in the step, and sometimes I get excited and double time, but I just can't stop. I must apply this to every assignment God gives me. Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that, Tara. That's good. That's good. That's good. That is good. Jan says, YouTube is my replay. YouTube is my replay. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right. So, so she talks about how she tried Pilates for the first time. Okay. And, in day 22. And she says that, after class, she had to sit in the sauna for a good long time because of the way her muscles felt, right? But she's proud of herself because she did it. She said, and she loved it. She heard so much about Pilates from her friends and acquaintances who took classes, but she had never taken one herself. And so she said she said, if I'm honest, it was because I was afraid of that machine. And she didn't. She says, I don't know what I thought it was going to do to me, but I did know that I didn't want to find out. She said, however, I finally agreed to take a class with some friends and figuring that if I didn't like it, that she never had to go back, right? That's a good way to look at it. But what has she been teaching us this whole time? That sometimes you just need to do a new thing because then you realize, wow, well, that wasn't so bad. Oh, well, I can do that again. Maybe I should try something else that's new, right? So she said she almost didn't make it to the class. She had a lot of things that were going on and she was running late, but she said the class was only 45 minutes away. And she said she knew I wouldn't walk through the door until 5 minutes into the session. So you know how that makes you feel, right? If you know you're going to be late and you know that when you walk in, like it's already going to be going on and you're just like, I don't want to walk in and everybody's looking at me and everybody knows I'm late. Like I can't just slip into the back, right? So she said the easiest thing for her to do would be to have texted her friends and said, y'all know what? I'm running behind today. I'm not going to come because I don't want to be late. Right. And that could be a very good excuse. She could tell people that. Right. But like, I almost feel like, how could you do that when yesterday, when, we were talking about Blackie and how he helped you to push past your quit and to do things that intimidate you, do things that you've never done before. Right. So you can't just give up on the Pilates class like that. But she said, but that's exactly what it would have been. A good excuse, an excuse. Even if it's a good one, it's still an excuse, right? She said, I took a minute to check myself. And I think this is something, if you have the book, you should definitely highlight that and maybe write that down in your journal. She said, I took a minute to check myself. She said, and remember that even if I'm 5 minutes late, that still leaves me 40 whole minutes to work out. So she wasn't going to miss a whole lot, right? But she took a minute to check herself. And I think that is something that reading this book has helped me to do, is when I come up against something, now I'm checking myself and I'm asking myself, okay, is this fair? Am I not doing this because of fear, or am I feeling this way because of fear? I'm checking myself. I'm really being intentional about not making the same mistakes that I've always made. I'm really being intentional about trying to continue to move up and not go back, right? And so she said, I took a minute to check myself. So she said she didn't think about it. She just drove there. She walked in the door, and she said, to be honest, she got nervous when she saw that they had already started. But she said, her first thought was that I missed the instructions on how to get on the machine. The instructor motioned to her and told her to come up to the front to the machine at the end of the row. She treated me like I was supposed to be there. I see y'all comments. I will come back to them. Okay. I will come back to them. So I think it was nice that even though she was a little bit worried, she's a little bit nervous about going in there late. She had missed the part that she really needed because she was already nervous about doing it, right? That the instructor was kind enough to her and nice enough to her to just give her some grace and say, hey, come, I got you, right? So she said, this was a moment for me. In the past, there were so many times when I was afraid to go to a gym to do any kind of workout out of the fear I didn't know what I was doing, and people would look at me and say, why are you here? Now, she's talking about a gym, but I know that there's somebody right now listening that this is how you feel. This is how you feel right where you are today. That you feel like you don't know what you're doing and that people are looking at you like, why are you even here? She said, in that moment, I realized that it had all been in my head. And I submit to you that if you are feeling this way, that most likely it is in your head as well. Okay? It is in your head as well. Because like my girl Lisa Lamb Medley says, you belong at the table, in the room, and what's the next one? I can't, where's my book? I can't reach it. You belong at the table, in the room, and on the call. You belong. You belong where you are. Because guess what? You're there because God placed you there. So you belong there. So you got to get out of your own head, and you have to, and you have to be intentional about that work. Otherwise, that's where you're going to stay, and you're going to continue to say, "I got to get out of my own head. I got to get out of my own head." Right? So she says, in that moment, I realized that it had all been in my head. The fact that she gave me a feeling of belonging was just what I needed for my trigger. So she jumped on the machine. She got excited to figure it out. The instructor helped her to position herself and figure it out, told her just to follow along, right? She watched everybody. She adjusted herself. She said the instructor came over a few times to properly position her when she made the wrong pose, which was so helpful and encouraging. And she said it's like all her fears just melted away. She started. She did it, right? And she said she was having fun doing something new, something I had been so afraid of doing for so long. What have you been so afraid of doing that you stopped or you slowed down? What has caused you to pump the brakes because you've just been so afraid of it? Going through all of that, she said, it's like all my fears melted away. And she was having fun doing something new, something that she had been afraid of for so long. She said, honey, Tab has grown. She said, I was late. I hate being late to anything. And I didn't know. And you know what? For those of us who hate being late, like the stories in our head, the way that we get in our own heads and the stuff that we're going to, we're planning, what are we going to say and how we already feel, and we're beating ourselves up, and like it's a whole thing, right? It's a whole thing. So she said, I hate being late to anything, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I still showed up. She said, I didn't know what I was doing, but I still showed up. I showed up for myself. I did something new, and my body was better for it. And this is my story. When I first started this, hear me and hear me clear. I did not know what I was doing. Had I gone live before? Absolutely. But this was different. Even switching from doing 100 Days of Believing Bigger to this book was a stretch for me. It made me nervous. It was different. I had never done something like this before. To me, the devotions, it's a totally different thing. Right? But I did it. I showed up. I showed up for myself. I showed up for you. I did something new. And I'm better for it. She says, now I ain't going to lie to you. Like Pilates hurts in some areas, but in a good way. Right? And she goes into talking about how it made her feel and, her muscles and all of that. But she felt accomplished. Right? She kept thinking, look at you, Tab. You did it. Right. And now, just like with many other new things I've tried for this book, she said, I think I might want to take up Pilates and go to classes a couple of times a week. So at the bottom of 169, she says, don't you love it when your new things lead to new loves? Has anybody done anything this month that was new, that led you to doing something else that was new? I'd like to know. So she says, there's always a risk of overdoing something. If I run out and start doing Pilates 7 days a week, that might be too much, right? That might be an overreaction for this new thing. I also might end up injured. She said, you see, discovering a new love is like trying a new piece of candy for the first time. It's sweet and it's yummy. Don't do what my mother did and try to eat all the chocolate because she didn't know if they were going to have chocolate in England. She tried to eat all the chocolate in that she could, but in Jamaica before she left, because she didn't know if she was going to have chocolate in England. Okay, so don't eat it all up. Then she made herself sick, and now she won't ever eat chocolate ever again. She is so turned off from it. She will not eat it. Don't do that. Okay. So she says, it's sweet and it's yummy, but if we aren't careful, it can also hurt us. Some of us don't know when we've had enough. We eat too much candy and end up with a stomach ache. She said, but honey, I don't want that to stop you from trying something new. I know that some of you aren't willing to try something new, not because you are actually scared something bad will happen, but because you're actually scared that you might like that thing too much. Anybody else feel that way? Let me stop and let me go back to these comments, and then we'll finish this. So Nini says, it has made me want to seek God more and be the kind of woman like you who will make him proud. He's already proud of you, Nini. I just want you to know that. He's already proud of you. I want to hear him say, well done, my daughter. Family and friends notice I'm different. Being a part of the Shine Crew has made me clean up, especially this mouth. I just want to be the very first. Okay. The very best. Excuse me. The very best. I love that. I love that. I love that. You have already made him proud. I think I missed something. Wait. Okay. Shanae says, we need you too, Tara. Your commentary is so funny. The word that God has put in your mouth is right on time because you are not afraid to be honest with the Shine Crew. Jan says, I loved Pilates. It was the people that made me uncomfortable. They made me feel like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Wow, I hate that. I hate that for you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And I know exactly what that is. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Good morning, Jamel. She said, just keep going. We were sidebarring, but we're listening too. Oh, got to get out of my head, right? She says, nah, that feeling was in my head because they didn't want me there. That's another story for another day. No one gave me a feeling of belonging. Wow. Wow. Oh, thank you. You know what, Jamel? This is actually a cup that we bought my mother for Christmas, probably 10 years ago or something like that. But I love me some black and white. So yeah, every night. And it comes with a little I don't have it here, but it comes with a little black and white coaster too. I love it. I really need to get a Shine with Andrea cup. I really need to do that. Showed up, pressed past the unknown, feel the fear, and do it anyway. Yep. Dr. Stevie said, I participated in Snatched with RTK, which is Real Talk Kim. I have been exercising all month, drinking no hard liquor, eating no red meat, and no desserts. It's led me to now start having that as a way of life. Wow. Patrice, what did I read? Patrice said, signing off now. What did I say? Did I say a coaster? No, it is actually a coaster. It's not a saucer. It is a coaster. It's a flat cork type of coaster. Yeah. She says, signing off now. Darn it. That last summary you read. Oh, Lord. What did I read? Jamel, you love black and white too? I do too. All right. So so let's go in. Let's get back in here. She says, there's a sweeter side to trying and loving that candy when you aren't. Wait, where am I? Am I mixing up myself? Did I lose my place? Okay. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I know some of you aren't willing to try something new, not because you are scared, but that something bad will happen, but because you're actually scared that you might like that thing too much. Yeah. She says, and I get that. And yes, there's some self-discipline we all need to learn as we're trying our new things and taking these leaps of faith. But don't give up on the possibility of discovering you love something simply because you might really like it, right? Just do what you need to do, honey, to safeguard yourself as you are enjoying it. And she says she's actually noticed the same thing with people who are scared to date, right? She said, I'm sure that the part of them is afraid of getting their heart broken. But I think that what many are really afraid of is falling in love, and maybe too quickly. They are afraid of the responsibilities that come with a good love, right? And that they don't want to be held accountable by someone else for their actions when it comes to this new thing. They don't want someone telling them that they are doing too much or too little, and that they've let other people tell them that that much, what much and what that much and what that little is. Like nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants to. It's like this feeling of like, I'm independent, I'm doing my thing, and then here you come along telling me, oh, what you're doing is too much, or that's too little. She says, but the problem with that is that they're giving control of their happiness to someone else. So what if loving somebody new means we have to be held accountable? We might actually need that. Mike says, I've had fear of fame and actually making it when it comes to my music. Wow, Mike. But what would be so bad if that happened? Thank you for sharing that, though. That's real talk. So she says, maybe we can just hold ourselves accountable to our own standards. Maybe we say, you know what? I fell in love with this person, and right now I'm liking them a whole lot. We hold on to our truth, even if there are others who think we are doing too much or being extra in our relationships. Even if there are those who think we aren't doing enough or not giving enough of ourselves, there will always be people with an opinion about how we live our lives. Ain't that the truth? Patrice says, I'm realizing, I feel like that even though I have the ability, the resources, My hesitation is coming from achieving success and then losing it, thus ultimately failing. That can bind you up. Thoughts like that could definitely bind you up and hold you hostage. I don't think God is going to take you to the mountaintop and knock you off, though. I don't think he's going to do that. And what do you consider success? Right? What do you consider success? And I think that you should still take the steps forward. I think you should still take the steps forward. But I understand how you feel. I understand how you feel. And if it's something that God takes you there and then you lose it, maybe it's not a loss. Right? Maybe it's God shifting you to do something different. Like he brings you here for a specific period of time to do a specific job, to learn certain things, right? To learn stuff about yourself, to develop personally, professionally, whatever it is. And then he has something else for you to do. And so now you go and you do that other thing, right? And it doesn't mean that you're no longer successful over here, but that he wanted you to go on to something else. Look what Dr. Stevie just said. I've learned that we don't fail. We transfer success to the next level, right? Exactly, Jan. Who says it's a loss? Who says it's a loss? We don't fail. We just transfer success to the next level, to the next thing. It may not be, God may say, okay, this is your season here doing this. And then I'm shifting you to something else. But that doesn't mean that no one can take away the success. No one can take that away. No one can strip you of your accomplishments and what you've done. Right? And then when God says it's time to move on, or it's time to shift, right? Or it's just time to do something different, or do it a little differently, or now he's giving you something else. You're just shifting. It's not a loss, right? It's not a loss. We're just transferring success to the next level. All right. So on the bottom of 172, she says, the truth is, some of us are moving too fast and wondering why we aren't getting the results we desire. That's probably because the results we desire can't happen the way we are moving. If we slow down, pace ourselves, and move just a little bit slower, then we will know that we are doing things the right way and our results will actually be quicker. She said, y'all know what happens when you're moving too fast? You miss some stuff. You're likely to find yourself messing up along the way. That's inevitable. What happens, that's inevitable. That's inevitably what happens when we rush. But as the instructor said, the slower you move, the quicker you tone. Your life will respond more favorably when you are taking your time and paying attention. So she says, I encourage you to take your time in discovering your new thing and just wait to see the beautiful results. That was good. That was good. So this is a good point, Dr. Stevie. Growing from a multiple six-figure business to bankruptcy and now rebuilding has taught me that I am successful in any industry because my it factor, I know that's what she meant to say, not her Italian factor. Her it factor is transferable. And that is the truth. Just like when you transfer jobs, your mind doesn't stay at the old one. And that's true because I remember during my interviewing days, I would always say I have transferable skills, right? I have transferable skills. You want me to read this? Okay, Gordon gave me something to read that I have not been able to review yet. Charlie Chaplin once told a joke in front of an audience. Everyone laughed, and he told it a second time. So only if and he told it a second time, so only a few laughed. When he told it for the third time, no one laughed. Then he said beautiful words. If you can't laugh and laugh at the same joke, why do you cry and cry at the same pain and sorrow? So enjoy every moment of your life. Charlie Chaplin left a great legacy without saying a word or hurting anyone's feelings. We remember these phrases that touch the heart. Nothing in this life is permanent, not even our problems. I love walking in the rain so no one can see my tears. And the day you waste the most in your life is the day you don't laugh. Thank you for sharing that. That was good. That was good. That was good. Jamil says, for Patrice and Mike and myself, I know that feeling. However, what just came to me is being diligent in keeping God as our primary focus in our success, and we'll be fine. Mike, you may be the real view of God that folks in the industry need to see instead of all the fakes that's been happening. That's true. God will position you to do something, and you might think that you're doing it for this reason, and God says, no, I have you over here for a whole nother reason. There's a whole group of people that I want you to touch, and when you touch them, then I'm going to take you and do something else. I mean, we're just talking because of what you mentioned, but I don't think you should let it stop you from moving forward. Okay. It could be someone's loss, but it can also be someone's gain. Yep. I know you meant it factor, Stevie. Yep. So the title for day 22 was try a new exercise or workout, but take your time, right? So whatever it is that you're going to do, and she gave some examples. Slow and steady wins the race, but only if you get on your mark, get set, and go. So the thing is that we can sit here and we can talk about all the things that stop us from being who we're supposed to be, from doing what we're supposed to do. Ultimately, they're, like she said, they're all excuses. They're all excuses, and they make us feel like justified in not starting. But quite frankly, how many years are you going to allow to go by without you at least starting, without you doing what God called you to do? And we can't keep complaining that we're not living the life that we were meant to live if we don't try. We got to do it afraid. That's the name of the game. Got to do it afraid. It's not going to be perfect, but you got to start somewhere. And the thing is that what I've learned is that when you start, then you start learning from your mistakes, right? And learning from the good that you do. And then you realize, see, when we're all in our head, we make it all about us. We don't want to do it because of how we feel or what we think or what we think people are going to think. We make it all about us. And I think that's such a disrespect to God, right? That we're literally doing this in his face. We're literally doing this in his face. And then we want him to bless what we touch. We want him to bless what we do. But we're literally doing this in his face. Nope, I'm not doing it because of what they said. And every time I try, all I can hear is what's ringing in my head about what they said. But I'm going to disregard what you want me to do. I'm going to disregard what you say that I should do. I'm going to disregard what you're setting me up for. And I'm just going to stay on this winding road going nowhere because I won't be obedient and listen to what you have told me to do. We get in our own head and we think all about ourselves, and we don't think about the people that God has called us to minister to, the people that God has called us, the people he's assigned to us, that they need to hear right where we are right now. Like, I'm twisted right now. I'm scared right now. There are people that need to hear you say that. And we talk about, when somebody asks, what do you do? Or what is your purpose? We are so quick to talk about, oh, this is what I do. And this is who I serve. And this is how I serve them. And this is why I serve them. But then we're not doing anything because we're so stuck in our head that we want to feel good when we want to tell people this is what we do. Listen, I've been there. I used to talk about how, I want to build women's confidence. I want to empower women. I want to take the time to inspire, mentor, and empower. I used to say that all the time before I was actually really doing it the way God told me to do it. I did it the way I wanted to do it because that was my comfort zone. I would do it in this way at this time, but I didn't do it when he told me to, how he told me to, and when he told me to. That's disobedience. That was straight up disobedience. Straight up. But let somebody put us on a platform and ask us, what do we do? And we're going to tell them all the stuff we do for women when we spend our time hiding. We spend our time in the bed. We spend our time on the couch. We spend our time in denial. We spend our time being afraid. But we like the feeling that we feel when we tell everybody what we do. But we're not actually doing it. And guess what? Time keeps on ticking. And there are people who need to hear your voice. They need you. They need you. They need to know where you are right now. They don't need you on there are some people that don't need you on the mountaintop. There's some people, they don't need you when you're on the mountaintop. They need you when you're in the valley. That's when they need you. But you refuse to show up in the valley because of what's in here. And that, to me, is a disrespect to God. And I'm not judging nobody. That's me. That's how I felt. And that's how I see it. That if I could look at God and say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it because I'm not good enough. I don't know what to say. I'm going to forget what I say. I don't feel like I'm good enough to be able to do this. Look at this and look at that. And I'm talking to God and telling God why I can't do what he called me to do. That's total disrespect and disobedience. I'm saying to him, you don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong. You're wrong about me. You made a mistake with me. So we have to change the narrative, and we have to humble ourselves, and we have to honor God. We have to honor God. And we have to say, you know what? You're right. You've been telling me to do this for the longest time. I just need to do it. And I'm just going to do it. And that's what I did. Remember? Like somebody said something to me on a Saturday, and then somebody said something to me on a Tuesday. And by that following day, on that Wednesday, I was live. I didn't have a plan. If you listen to the live, I put it in a group a couple of weeks ago. I listened to it. It was like 35 minutes, I think. I listened to it. And I said, I don't know if I'm coming back tomorrow. You're gonna have to wait until the end of this live, and then I'll tell you then. Because I was so unsure. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was so afraid of saying that I'm going to come back or putting it out there that I'm going to do this for this period of time, because the very first time back in, I think it was 2001. I think it was 2001. The very first time that I put it out there and said, I'm going to do 100 days of believing bigger, I put it in my stories, I shut it down. I deleted it immediately. I said, this unrealistic. I'm not going to do that. There's no way. I'm not going to do it. I couldn't see myself doing it for 100 days. And I shut it down. That was the first, that was when God was speaking to my heart. And I didn't want to say I'm going to do something and not do it. Right? Overthinking is a problem. Overthinking is an absolute problem, because overthinking then leads to us being stagnant and not doing anything at all. Dr. Stevie said, y'all, I told Andrea a huge goal that I have, and I told her that I didn't know how to get there. Being vulnerable gets you equipped. She equipped me, and my greater belief is when we are equipped with the tools to succeed, there is no stopping our potential. Now that I'm equipped, the excuses have to be abolished. That's good. That's good. Mike says, sometimes my overwhelming powers cause me to feel that way. Like, this can't be right. I can't be able to do this. That is what they call imposter syndrome. I can't be this gifted. God gifted you. He gave it to you. He gifted it to you. He gave you everything that you needed to succeed. And not only that, he gave you what he knew the world needs. I believe that God placed us all here. He placed us all here. He created us like a beautiful garden. And he placed us all here to be able to love on each other, support each other, encourage each other, empower each other, right? Support each other. But all it took was for one monkey to mess up the whole show. And then all of a sudden, now we all hiding. Now we're hiding. Who even told you that you needed to hide? Who even told you that you were naked? Who even told you? Exposed yourself by your sin, by not being obedient, by not doing what God called you to do. So the easy thing is to roll your eyes and come off the live, or don't ever come back, or whatever. Trust me, I've had all of those feelings. That's why I can speak to them. The harder part, but the more rewarding part, is for you to say, you know what? Today, I make my commitment to God known. Today, God, I'm going to commit to you to do exactly what you called me to do, regardless of what it costs. Regardless of what it costs. Adam told himself, and we have done the same. I'm glad you picked up on that. Patrice said, I will stop saying what I'm going to do and just do it. Just do it. Just do it. That's what I did on June 14th. On June 14th, 2023, I just did it. My life has changed since then. Has it been easy? No. Has it been worth it? Absolutely. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. Then you'll do this. Then you'll do this. But you have to trust God through the process. Don't just trust the process. Because what about the process can you trust? If you trust God through the process, while you're doing this, he's going to be right there with you. And it's going to be worth it, because you have to learn. You need the experience. He's going to send you everything that you need. He's going to send the right people alongside you. Just do it. Just do it. That goes for each and every one of you here, that you're still sitting on those gifts. All right, y'all. We're at an hour. I'm going to stop talking. I love y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 23. Dang, then we just got 7 days left. This was really good. This was really good. I appreciate Tab for pouring into this book and making this available for us. She's a beautiful soul, and I just pray that God will continue to bless her. All right, y'all. Oh, hush, Tara, about yay an hour. Goodbye. I love y'all. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. She said, I love you, and I needed this morning. Listen, I needed it too, and I love you. I love each and every one of you. See you tomorrow. Bye.